All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. This is a public Real Crypto Power Hour. This is my show that we do every single day. And if you're interested, you can go to real-crypto.com and click on services, and you can join the Real Crypto Power Hour right here. All right, let's get to the market, everybody. It was a trap. That's right, Monkeytron. It was a trap. Everything is a trap. Seems that everything was a trap. Morning, Mike. So this is a live version of the show. Another follow-through day low. Yeah, you know the interesting thing yesterday, Monkeytron, is that even though it wasn't a follow-through day yesterday because our 0 day was, here, it would have been a follow-through day. Definitely a type of a bull trap. Let's bring in our follow-through day system. We'll change our low to today, I guess, May 5th. May the 5th be with you. Is that how it goes? All right, there you go. So if you're not familiar, here in the Power Hour, we do have a system that we follow called the follow-through day system, basically. What it does is it oscillates the market between two states, uptrend and correction. And we were in an uptrend, and the market's been very choppy using the follow-through day system, actually. We had a follow-through day here, and we moved into a correction here. So essentially, almost basically negative market movement if you go by the closes. And then we moved into another follow-through day here, and then we just moved into a correction here. So another fairly neutral market uptrend. Vikas Metal, hello. Hey, what's up, Farhan? Yeah, lots of bloody hands lately, Farhan. Lots of bloody hands. We're public today, Farhan, just so you know. I'm not sure when you jumped in. So here we are with a lot of chop on our hands recently. Let's dig in a little bit. And we were looking at this declining wedge yesterday. Things were looking pretty good. Like that. That's how we closed the day yesterday. That's a pretty bullish day. Declining wedge was on the chart. Not quite a follow through day, but not a follow through day. And we ended up getting obliterated for whatever reason. Let's bring in the 2-hour chart to the mix. So we were just kind of in this malaise. We were up here. So here's this particular line on the 2-hour chart. This is the declining wedge line. This one and this one. Maybe it's this one. Which one is it? I got a lot of trend lines on my chart in this area. Let's get rid of some horizontal. Let's get rid of some of these. I'm gonna keep that one. We can get rid of that one. That's been pretty clearly broken. And so these are some 2-hour trend lines here. We were following these with so yeah, oddly enough, we had this crazy reversal the other day here. We did break this trend line on pretty okay volume, rolled down, found support at support, rallied hard, turning us pretty bullish, and then now flipping us bearish instantly again. This is just extraordinary chop. We were pretty choppy through this area. This brings it to a new level, to be quite frank with you, this type of a chop. We have identified distribution and accumulation. We've been talking about a lot of things lately, but what's been consistent has been chop, and our kind of new favorite strategy, pretty much short anything versus Bitcoin. That's been kind of the new strategy, and that's been working pretty well because everything is either more bearish than Bitcoin lately, or Bitcoin gets these pops, and it's usually a BTC only pop, kind of like we had yesterday. It ended up incorporating more of the market, but for the most part, it was BTC only. But yeah, shorting so far has kind of been the way of the world. Nasdaq down 5%, is it? Jeez. Wow, Tesla's down 7.5%. Oh yeah, we'll have to do stonks later on rate. Oh, did you get rate hike news across the pond? Oh, that could be interesting. So, yeah, rebalance in some financial markets. We were talking about this a little bit ago in the Slack channel. So we do have a Slack channel here at Real Crypto. If you guys aren't participating, shame on you. If you if you go to If you go to realcrypto.com, you actually sign up, no charge for it. It's just a free Slack channel. Join the community, hit the big blue button, and you can sign up right here and get into the Slack chat room. We were talking about this, and Ryuk, it's his handle, was discussing a little bit about inflation and how he thinks that we're going to have crazy high prices in the latter half of the year. And I was giving him some grief, and then we started talking about inflation and the economy. And just for the record here, hey, what's up, Batman? Yeah, hit the like button. Yeah, I always forget that. All right, Batman's hype man. He's the hype man there. But yeah, hit the like button. That would be appreciated. It's going to spread it out a little bit more on YouTube, and it's better than paying me actual money. So what I think is happening with inflation is just my 2 cents, just my 2 cents here, is that when the Fed printed all this money, just imagine a pool, right? Just imagine you're in this really nice pool and you're enjoying yourself, and water's evaporating and the auto leveling system is bringing in new water. And then there's this douchebag, maybe a group of middle schoolers, because they're all douchebags. They fill up this huge bathtub full of water, like half the size of the pool, and just dump it on the pool. First of all, that'd be really fun if it was a big enough pool, because there'd be some waves and stuff. But second of all, it would take time for those waves to dissipate to the point where your grandma would be comfortable in the pool again. And I think that's what's happening with inflation. It would also rise the general level of the pool. So, obviously, hopefully your pool was half full when this happened, but it would raise the level of the pool. And that's essentially what's happening, is that where, prices are lifting up because of all this additional money in the economy. And unfortunately, it's not evenly distributed, which leads to wealth inequality. I'm not going to go too deep into any of that stuff, but it does lead to, if you're not getting raises, it's obviously hard to keep up with that new price floor. There's a new price floor that's basically being put in right now, and that's what inflation is. And if you look at the M1 money supply and stuff like that in the bigger picture, what you will see is the money supply just continues rising. Probably find it real quick. So forget about this recent bump, but I mean, they do continually inflate the money supply. So this inflation that they're trying to manage, all the way here into COVID, like this area here, this is very normal. What we get is this, slow rise in the pool, and I'm no economist, but from what I've read, this is pretty normal. And then you get these very hyperinflationary periods where this money supply is just very exacerbated. And so, once we reach a new normal, it'll level out. So I'm not even sure if the interest rate hikes are really going to do anything. So yeah, we'll see about that. But what does that have to do with the cryptocurrency market? And we talked about this recently too. Yeah, we do a lot more in the power than just talk cryptos. We talk about all kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff. Yeah, you learn woodworking tricks, because I woodwork, so learn a little bit of that. Crypto is part of the global economy now. This is what it has to do with crypto. Crypto is now part of the global economy. And so you have all of this money sloshing around the global economy, and crypto is a part of it. So it's going to get beat around. And someone mentioned earlier that this was kind of trending with the NASDAQ. Yeah, I guess it is a little bit, because, this is what happens if you want institutional involvement in cryptocurrency. You get institutional involvement in cryptocurrency. And institutions will generally do the same thing across their portfolio. They will add risk or reduce risk. That's basically their job. If you're Goldman Sachs, if you're JP Morgan, if you're some kind of an institution, even some type of a larger hedge fund like what's Ray Dalio's, whatever his is, not Constellation. It's not Constellation. Whichever one it is, you will just move money proportionally to asset classes, and now crypto's just part of the asset class. So you kind of have to deal with it. And then when everyone and their grandmother isn't buying crypto, it's not going to the moon, which is kind of what's going on right now. So let's bring it back to BTC. Kind of coming full circle here a little bit. What's happening right now is we're not getting a lot of institutionals. Why can't I type? Hold on, I'm trying to type in my spreadsheet. It's not working. Hold on a second. I can't entertain 5 thoughts and try to type when it doesn't work. Okay. All right, so I'll bring it back to Bitcoin price action with the whole general. It's really feeling like a general reset of economies. There's a lot of things going on right now that are highly unusual. If you're not familiar, this is a public broadcast, so I guess I'll recap a little bit. The U.S. dollar is just rocking. It's absolutely rocking, and that is not a problem for me, but it could be a problem for other economies for sure. And what this is a flight to safety and quality. Flight to safety and quality. What happens is when things are uncertain, when your entire business model is based on the markets going up, low interest rates, things of that nature, you end up unwrapping a large amount of your positions when things aren't, going according to plan. And so that's what's happening here. Is that basically the whole world is unwinding into dollars because it's still the safest asset in the world. Is the United States dollar. Name another one. Someone's going to sarcastically say gold, and I appreciate that. But yeah, it's not gold, it's the dollar. It is the dollar. So it's going to be what it's going to be, and the dollar's getting more aggressive right here. That's going to be a problem, and so their assets are declining. Nasdaq's has a large head and shoulders and a mini inverted head and shoulders, but it looks like the head and shoulders is winning out. We've actually negated this, so this is no longer a thing. The Nasdaq firmly seems to be headed in a downward direction at this stage of the game. And so crypto's going to follow suit again because all they're doing is reducing risk off of the table. That's basically what they're doing. What up, PJ? BOE, I'm assuming that means Bank of England, has declared recession likely. I think England will strike first. What can they do? They've already got negative interest rates, don't they? So if they raise interest rates, that's not going to stop a recession. That's going to be interesting. Pound is worthless, Farhan. Hit it with $1. Sorry, poor joke. Is poor the pun in your poor joke? Because that would be a poor joke. And I appreciate that. So what does that mean for Bitcoin? Well, in all honesty, in all actuality, Bitcoin is the smallest participant in this pond that is the global economy. And so it doesn't mean a lot. They have raised already? Wow. What are they at? Are they 0 now? Usually when something goes into a recession, PJ, they usually will cut rates. But that's weird. Watching from the Philippines. Well, hello from the United States. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. So, yeah, you guys might want to sell your euros or pounds into dollars, I guess. It's on a major uptrend. Looks like it's just going to continue on the next leg. That's a tough one, though, because what are you going to gain? Like 5% for pretty big risk? It's really tough to go out of your native currency. If there's even a way to do that very cheaply. I'm not sure if there is. Hey, what up, B-dubs? Welcome to the show, B-dub. Yeah, there you go. USD. Good level to buy Tesla, Batman? Ooh. We'll talk about stocks and Tesla later. That's what we'll do. I'm trying to keep... So I do timestamp these. Try to keep the timestamps somewhat on point. Today they're a little bit loose because we've been all over the place, but... Yeah, Tether would be a good way to do that. That's hard to pay stuff day to day in Tether, though. Okay, BTC price action. In reality, right now with Bitcoin breaking down, um, really back in defensive mode. We were a little bit more bullish yesterday after all of this price action. Popping up over our alert level, we had things pretty tight, 39.2 and 37.5. This was your lowest resistance point, and as things failed to go lower yesterday here, we did keep the alert level there. I think we had it there the day before, and we rallied through in a nice. This is a good candle right here. This is not a. This I don't know if this is a fake out candle, but this is a real candle. This buying pressure here, albeit not as exaggerated as the selling pressure. Look at the daily time frame. That was some real buying pressure. That was that was some real buying pressure, but then they just sold into it. Crown warned about a trap yesterday. Nice. Yeah, Mike was talking about that too. Mike was talking about a trap. Good job, Mike. Did you do anything with that, Mike? Stablecoins riskier than the pound? I think it depends on the stablecoin. I will say this though, Shash. Stablecoins have been stable. They just have been. I mean, if you look at Tether, there's been a lot of talk about Tether over the years, and I mean years. Yeah, we'll go to Kraken. But I mean, all in all, it looks like it's spiky, but this is 5 cents, so this is 1 cent. And Tether's been pretty good. It's getting more stable actually if you look at it going all the way back. It does a pretty good job of pegging itself to the dollar. There's always a possibility it could falter, but I'm not so sure that I'm not so sure about that. I mean, I think it would take a lot. It would take a lot to whatever market mechanism. Tether's so built into the market right now. It really is. Your run's ended, Mike? Yeah, it's a tough one. This was a tough scenario. This was a tough scenario here. Like really, it was a good fake to the upside because what was happening over here, if you look as we go down, so first of all, declining wedges are bullish. Okay, not that we were extraordinarily bullish, but you know you're ready for it because it's on the chart, and then you get a breakup signal. You break a higher high here, and then you could be off to the races. This sell-off was just very, very quick and very aggressive. Could this be a fake sell to the downside? Yeah, it could be. This market's been so choppy, but we are technically still in a downtrend. Even my follow-through system, which we started talking the show about, was in a correction as of this candle, and we have not moved back into an uptrend. So, Crypto Future from Bangalore, India, welcome. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Buy the stablecoin dip. Yeah, right? Exactly. Get yourself a 3% discount or a 0.3% discount. So, breakout trading in this scenario hasn't worked. It hasn't worked for a while. It's been choppy. It's been choppy. We were looking for a market breakdown in this area. It didn't happen. So we were, looking for a market pop, which did happen. Then an immediate reversal. This is chopped to the nth degree right here. This is chopped territory. This is where you can get your account in trouble. So I'm just going to say this for everybody. What to do with your account right now? Okay. I'm going to timestamp this. Okay, so this is, everyone's going to say, what do I do right now? My advice right now is to literally do nothing. It's to absolutely do nothing. Look, the market may drop 10%, the market may pop 10%. But what's going to happen is this. If this market continues with this type of choppy action that it's been doing, you will lose a lot more than 10% playing this action. Okay? Sometimes the best thing to do is nothing. And that's proven to be the best. That's proven to be the best thing to do. Lately is nothing. Unless you're extremely good, it just, once it goes up, you take a profit. Once it goes down, you take a profit. But you have to be very quick, very, very fast. And you can see these moves are happening in pretty dramatic fashion. and very quickly. This drop here stopped in basically 4 hours. This is a 2-hour chart. So let's put this in context, right? So you chop here sideways, you drop in like 8 hours and it's done. This is a good little rally. So that you could have held on for a minute. This you could have held on for a couple of days, but then you probably should have taken profits there because the market's so choppy. Move down, immediate move up, immediate chop down. I mean, this is just rinse and repeat, but technically lower highs and lower lows. Technically, it is a downtrend. If you're comfortable trading those pops, go ahead and trade the pops. But guess what you're doing down here? You're buying, you're covering, is what you're doing. Okay, this trend line drop didn't lead to much. Nice uptrend, and then a much bigger drop. So you have to be very comfortable selling when things look bullish and when things drop, covering. You have to be very, very comfortable with that. If you're not very comfortable with that, you don't do anything. There's wisdom when it comes to trading and managing assets in this way, which most people haven't been informed of, right? Most people haven't been informed of that. And there's three ways to trade a market. There's buying, there's selling, and there's doing nothing. Those are all three options in all three positions. Doing nothing is a position. And in these situations, especially lately, doing nothing or selling pops seems to be the best way to go. Pretty much. Let me see. It looks like I missed a comment or two. Love to get freedom from 9-to-5 job, crypto future. Yeah, it's it's a different type of slavery trading. You're always slave to something. I was thinking the other day we were having this talk with Mike, who's got some rental properties, about Robert, and he sent me a video about Robert Kiyosaki versus Dave Ramsey. Robert Kiyosaki believes in basically leveraging debt. I'm just going to paraphrase here. Robert Kiyosaki believes in leveraging debt. Dave Ramsey believes in zero debt and zero leverage. And part of Robert Kiyosaki's thing was, hey, you should be your own boss, build a business. But then you're slave to the business until you hit a certain scale. So you're always slave to something. You're always slave to something. But yeah, so if you're a trader, you're slave to trading. It just is what it is. Talk to Cheyenne and Slack about being a slave to trading. Dude's been sleeping like 4 hours a night for 5 years. So it just depends on what you want to be a slave to, I guess. That's about it. Wealth creation is not slavery? Well, it depends. Trust me, it depends. You wake up one day, you're like, damn, I've been doing this for 7 years, and then all of a sudden you're like, have I gotten to where I wanted to go, So it's a risk either way. Having a 9-to-5 is a risk, but there is a path, right? There is a path. Being a trader is risky. The path is much less certain. This is a performance endeavor. You have to perform. I'll say it in a little bit. Bitcoin ATMs. I'll say it in a little bit, and you're gonna love it. You're even gonna hit the like button after I say it. Everybody knows what the secret word is. Well, he does. I don't know if most everybody else does, but they probably don't pay that close attention. But I know what the secret word is. That it's the trigger word. So what do you do right now? Well, like I said, if you're not adept to this very short-term trading, then I say you do nothing. I say you just wait. You absolutely wait. If you're worried about a big market drop and you want to sell, I think it's okay to sell. We've been talking about this the past week or so. One of the Power Hour members said, hey, what do I want to... I think the market's going to drop. Everyone's talking about a bear market. What do I do? How do I sell and get back in? Timestamp this. So, how do you sell and get back into the markets? Well, if you sell, it's for a specific reason. And when you get back into the markets, you have to negate that reason. It's the same reason. It's the same on the inverse. When you buy, you have a reason. And then you sell when the inverse of that is true. Okay? And that goes for every investor. Period. If you want to write that down and post that on your wall, why don't you get a Sharpie and write this on your monitor? Okay, you sell when your buying thesis was negated. That's essentially what all of investing is, and that goes for everything. Um, that goes for venture capital investing. That goes for trading baseball cards. That goes. It doesn't really matter. Beanie Babies, you know. Of course, if you have a flawed premise to begin with, then you're screwed no matter what. But it is what it is. But yeah, so right now, I mean, if people are really worried about a big drop, if you want to sell, if you want to sell Bitcoin, you have to know when you're going to get back in. First of all, you have to answer why you're selling. I'm selling because the market's going to drop. That would be the answer. So what happens if the market doesn't drop? Well, then you have to get back in, don't you? And you have to know how to do that. And then, if you're cash right now looking to get in, you want to buy. The question is, why are you buying? And then you would, whatever negates that thesis is when you would sell. That's basically about it. So if you're looking to sell right now, kind of in this low chop area, if you think we're going to drop, you are preemptively selling, but you could be potentially saving a few bucks. So then when does that get negated? Well, you would argue it's over a price level. It's over some level. And ideally underneath you have failed moves lower. If you fail to go lower, then we're not going lower. And if that's you use a 30K example for that, which is over here. Okay. So if you sold in this chop thinking we were going to drop lower, let's say you sold right here. Like your choppy, we chopped down a bunch. You sold over here. You think we're going to go lower. Well, where do you buy back? Maybe right there. Maybe up here. Just using this as an example, But whatever your thesis is, whenever that gets negated is when you would jump back in. Hindsight being 20/20 and everything. You can use hindsight to your advantage, but you pay for it in terms of I call it insurance. Is when you wait for confirmation and then you buy or sell or whatever. I call it insurance. That's what I call it. All right. Let's dig back into kind of more normalized stuff here. Reset my charts. And we'll move about the market. Okay. We're going to go down the top 20. So during the power hour. Yeah, so you guys are watching public day of the power hour. So the power hour is my service that we do every single day. And if you're interested in it, you can go to real-crypto.com, click on services here, and then you will see the Real Crypto Power Hour sign up button here. And you're welcome to do that. If not, you can join our chat room and have a chat right there. Join our community and click on it, fill out a form, get a link, and then get on Slack. All right, that's about it. So we're going to walk down the top 20. This is what we do during the show. We go over Bitcoin. We walk down the top 20. We look at altcoins and other things and whatever weird stuff you guys want to talk about because you always bring up something good. All right, next up is Ethereum. So Ethereum, yesterday we did have alerts on Ethereum at 28.94. A lot of alerts got broken yesterday. Again, yesterday looked pretty good. Yesterday was a good signal. We've seen these reversals. Here's our last reversal. We had an alert level over here as well. And this one worked out really well. This one not so much. The market just decided to really swing hard in the opposite direction. And we've been really choppy lately. And sometimes stops get hit. It just kind of is what it is. So if stops got hit, they got hit, and you just kind of have to let it sit. You do nothing. That's the wise thing to do. Next up is Hex. Hex with a cup and handle looks like sold off with the market. Lately, Hex was going with the market during this downtrend. Recently, we talked about it coming up to this trend line, maybe stalling. Looks like that's what's happened so far. Retest of the cup and handle breakout, and so far we're living underneath of it. That's not a good sign. Hex with some buying pressure here on the volume aggregation tool. Oh, really, Farhan? Yeah, mine too. Stops got. I'm just out. I'm just waiting this stuff out. There's nothing to do. Sometimes gonna have to pass before you get real froggy again. Looks like we came back up to this trend line, give or take. Play with the trend line, resisted, rolled over, almost got to the top trend line. One thing of note, Hex has very weak volume, especially comparatively to history. Don't know why the volume just dried up. I'm not so sure that is truly indicative of the volume. It's hard to know. Sometimes when you're, pulling this information through APIs and whatnot, maybe the API changed or something. Hard to know, but that's unique there with Hex. So nothing to do there. Next up is BNB. Choppy down. We did try to pop a little bit, hit our alert. It was a wick though, and then an immediate rollover. Large trend line in play for BNB. BNB really hasn't been that bullish or bearish lately. Just really lots of wide, choppy ranges, but giving it an opportunity, and it just hasn't really performed. Solana. Recently talking about Solana sitting here chopping down in lows, and that's pretty much still what it's doing. On support here. You see on the daily time frame, really much ado about nothing. Yesterday's action wasn't that aggressive, wasn't that bullish. We got a little bit, a little bit higher at the open today, but a big slap back down. So still, these altcoins look horrible. XRP did try to break up a little bit, like everything else did. So one of the questions I sometimes think to myself is that, was this a bad alert level because it got negated? The answer is no. It is not a bad alert level. The market likes to fade all kinds of signals. This was just the first one it could fade. We were looking for and hoping for maybe a pop of some kind in a more bearish environment, maybe some reversals, but really nothing doing. The bearishness is just a little bit too overwhelming here for the most part. All right, Luna. Luna failed a 90.05 alert level. I'm not even sure if that's right. 90.05 is this one. So it didn't quite fail 90.05. Never quite got there. This was just kind of a pivot point. This was actually a breakdown point. Yeah. That's what we talked about yesterday. So here's one breakdown point. This is another breakdown point. Rallies like to come into breakdown points and fail. So that was actually a shorting signature. Oh, choppy lower garbage market again, Farhan? Yeah, that's right. Next up is Cardano. Cardano was a big hit yesterday. We looked at our article a couple days ago, said Cardano has had a lot of buying pressure, a lot of whale wallets inflating their Cardano positions, which led subsequently, so we talked about it the day before yesterday, subsequently yesterday rallying through pretty big, but then getting hammered back down with everything else, not undercutting lows. So Cardano could be a bellwether of this market as Cardano is actually live, whereas before it wasn't live. So there's a possibility. Let's check out TVL on Cardano. Actually, looks like we're already on Cardano. TVL. So sideways with TVL with Cardano. Cardano getting TVL for the first time in years. Cardano is live for the first time this year. For the most, maybe was it late last year, September? Yeah, it was September last year. Yeah, right there was when it went live. And it's all hype. And look at all the garbage. That was the best sell signal you ever could have gotten. Cardano going live. Wish it would have shorted that all the way down. We talked about it too. Cardano's going live. That is a hard sell signal. And it really was. It really was a hard sell signal. And it's just been absolute garbage since then. But recently putting in some better action. It has been behaving better. We caught this run up here. Broke down, which would have been a good short. But intriguing. If it breaks this level right here, it's really, really going to be difficult to be bullish on Cardano again. It's bullish right now. Bullish probably isn't the term. It is a good candidate to be bullish if the market doesn't rip our faces off. If it does, then it's screwed like everything else. But when it comes back, when the market comes back, I think Cardano will be one to look at. It should be top tier to look at least. All right, next up is AVAX. Big boy reversal here. Took out a trend line, held it really well, rallied through, took it out. AVAX is on a much longer trend line here. This is a huge problem for AVAX. Won't come back for a long time if it breaks that trend line. It looks like we're kind of getting there already. Next up is DOT. And DOT, same signature, roll over. Didn't quite take out lows. Looks like we paused at that low there the other day, but yeah, we'll see what happens here. Not looking very good. The DOT daily chart, choppy garbage. Choppy garbage. All right, next up is Dogecoin. Dogecoin not really rallying that hard yesterday. Did go up a little bit though, coming back down in pretty high volume. That's seems normal to me. Shiba Swap, Dogecoin, and Crow are three of the coins that shouldn't be in the top 20 that are in the top 20. And you can see here a full retracement here for Shiba. While not fully breaking down, this is a firm bear flag now. I will say one thing about these altcoins is that we now have very firm bear flags underneath breakdown points for a lot of coins. So bigger move down in altcoins seems to be apparent, which would likely mean moves down for Bitcoin as well. All right, Matic Network. Choppy like everything else, moving down lower. SHIB and Cardano are the coins on Coinbase held there for the longest time, whatever that's worth. Not many happy. Why do you say that, Shash? Are you familiar with the matter? I guess why would they be unhappy? Did they all get paid in Cardano? Hard to build on Cardano? Really? Wow. What platform do they like? They do like ETH. Still ETH, huh? EVMs, you mean Ethereum virtual machines? Is that what you mean by EVMs? Do they say anything about the other platforms, such as AVAX or Solana, or I don't know if they're building on Terra or not? Yeah, that was supposed to be the thing, Monkeytron. You're right. Is that Cardano was supposed to support multiple languages, or at least also be able to um, transport code over. But maybe that's not the case now that it's actually live. Maybe there's some additional overhead that sucks. Which I mean, I've done a little bit of development in my day, and I could definitely see how they could make it a bad user experience for the developers. Oh, you mean like the layer twos? BSC is an EVM? I know Matic's a layer two. Solana is hard to build, but getting developments a lot of liquidity support from FTX side. Gotcha. Yeah, Solana's run kind of came to an end here. I think we already did Solana. Yeah, it's up there. Solana's TVL went to garbage too. A lot of these DeFi's, one thing we're good at in the power hour is identifying market trends, and TVL for a long time there was a really good market trend indicator. Still is actually. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see a developer survey on what platforms they like. That would be interesting to take. Yeah, thanks for mentioning that, Shash. That's awesome. I gotta say, you guys really do make the show what it is. I mean, I bring my analysis and my perspective, which I do believe brings value. But what makes the Power Hour work is really these conversations, because you see a lot of perspectives that you don't usually. Every time we get a new member that usually has a good perspective, it makes us think and rethink some of the things, that revisit some topics. It really is great. So I do appreciate the conversation. It's really great. Really is good. All right, I'm going to move on. Feel free to keep talking, Shash. We'll interrupt. No issues with that. The show's all about interruption. It's all about me getting interrupted. All right, next up is Crow, which is the third leg of our table here of garbage coins, which includes Doge, SHIB, and Crow. Although Doge is interesting, but it's still garbage. CRO, firmly lower, had a huge drop. and actually continued the drop in dramatic fashion compared to the rest of the market. When the rest of the market was stalled, Crow's like, yeah, let's keep going lower because this seems fun. Low volume rally here. Looks like we did drop a little bit lower. So if you can short Crow, you should be able to short on Coinbase, I think. I don't trade on Coinbase, but maybe you can. You can see right there that is a lower declining volume situation. And yeah, garbage. You like? Oh, I'm sorry, Shash. I I'm so sorry for you that you like Crow. Um, why do you like Crow, may I ask? You seem like a knowledgeable individual. I'll ask. A lot of projects. Well, what does it do? Crow is it is the darn it. Sorry, just give me a second. I'll go to the website. Way to crap in his garden. That's my specialty, Monkeytron. I love to crap in. Well, first of all, the reason I crap in people's gardens is because I think I know something. Hey, what up, Mark? And the second thing is that whatever I think I know could be proven wrong. Both are good outcomes, at least for me. At least for me. Number one, I get to educate, and number two, I get to be educated. Sounds like a win-win. Sounds like a win-win to me. But yeah, no, CRO, I think it's I can't think of it right now. It's a stupid wallet, though, isn't it? It's like crypto.com. Oh, it's Kronos? Oh, it's not what... Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, they changed their name. That's right. They changed their name. It's their stupid cards. Oh, they do have a public blockchain now. Oh, interesting. What's going on with mainnet beta is now live. What's going on with this? So this is an actual layer one. Or I guess they're making a layer one. So this used to be, CRO used to be Monaco coin. And Monaco coin was credit cards. Monaco coin was credit cards. They bought crypto.com for $1 million. By that I mean the actual domain name for $1 million. Bonkers, right? Big news at the time. Actually, I think even made the actual news, not just crypto news, but it made the actual news. And they didn't have. I'm trying to remember my history here. I think they talked about making their own blockchain, and they were going to do payment processing on the blockchain. Maybe that was 10x. But maybe they're coming back with this. This is interesting. Yeah, exchange was decent. I don't care about the exchange, to be honest with you. See, when it boils down to it, if you're going to be a top 20 cryptocurrency, in my mind, you're going to be Bitcoin or Ethereum. You're going to be a transfer coin, or you're going to be a layer one blockchain. You have to be a layer one. If you're not a layer one, why are you in the top 20? It makes no sense. So if the main purpose of crypto.com is just a wallet, that's ridiculous. It doesn't need to be in the top 20. But yeah, no, I think I'm looking at it right now, like you said, Shash. So yeah, like I said, I could be wrong and I could be right. Both are great outcomes. In this case, maybe I need to revisit. But yeah, it's Kronos now, not crypto, whatever. I forgot they changed their name. Cool DeFi on it. Okay, all right. Maybe. Another reason why I say this shouldn't be in the top 20. Number one, I didn't know it had a layer one. That's news to me. I guess they don't just do a great job of like Matt Damon doesn't scream layer one blockchain to me. But when you go to products, I don't remember this being here. So either I just skipped it but I mean, they're looking at crypto.earn, you're looking at metal Visa cards, so we looked at this for a bit and you have to stake like $40,000 to get 8% cash back on Visa cards, which I don't think is long-term sustainable. So if they're going to add a layer one to the ecosystem in in some way, shape, or form, become a player, I'm not mad at that. That's cool. I like that. But the rest of this is garbage for being in the top 20. That could give it some validity, if it's going to be a thing. Is Kronos up here on the TVL? Alex, they do have some TVL. 2.4 billion. That's actually not bad. Oh, Kronos. It's right here. All right. Maybe I'll change my stance slightly. Yeah, I think I'll change my stance slightly. But I do want to say this. I'm a firm believer, and I used to teach a class, which I may start it myself. I used to teach a class about blockchain with different, well, not blockchain itself, but about investing in cryptocurrencies. And to this day, I still think it's accurate. Price action matters, even if the project is good, like vis-a-vis Cardano, was supposed to be good. But look at the mainnet, and you say developers don't like it, and I'll trust you on that. And look at the price action. So you have to believe price action to a point, because if you're going to hold a coin as an asset, even as a developer, I do believe you have to be at least informed of what the price action is telling you. And Kronos price action, going from 90 cents down here to 28 cents, and has been the weakest coin, pretty much the weakest coin on this chart here, to be quite honest with you. Another reason why I like to make fun of it. Like, this breakdown does not show strength to me. And that has nothing to do with whether the platform is good. That has nothing to do with whether the TVL is good, whether it's the most secure. All it has to do with is investor sentiment. And in reality, if CRO goes on to be the best blockchain ever in the history of the world, has more TVL than Ethereum, and is better, faster, more secure than Bitcoin, but doesn't perform price-wise, everyone will be disappointed, because everyone just wants to make money with coins. So, is what it is. But no, very good. Learned something on that one. Fantastic. CRO, not a massive piece of garbage, just a normal piece of garbage. All right, next up is Near Protocol. So Near Protocol broke our trend line and a retest. This is more traditional bearish stuff on Near Protocol. This is a lot more traditional bearish stuff, and not looking very good. Look at the high volume break on the trend line. Absolutely just textbook. As a matter of fact, I should probably, because I'm actually thinking of making a trend line course, and this would be great for a trend line break because it's pretty exaggerated and not very good for Near Protocol. So near down, is this our percentage leader? With that volume, I wouldn't be surprised. 14%, 12% for AVAX. It looks like it is. Tron down 11, 14 for Near Protocol. So see yesterday did have some good buying action, but look at that selling action. Much, much more exaggerated. Daily time frame doesn't look as bad with 7 hours left. Well, our volume would be a little bit elevated, so that would be a great stop. This would be a great stop for a short, but wow, that's 18.5%. That is bonkers. Monkey Tron, that's 18.5%. That's insane. What was the volume when you broke the trend line on the 1 minute chart? Oh, you want to see like on the break? So, let me say that about this, is that this trend line is 4 days old, so it's not a super long trend line. Why you got me looking at a 1 minute chart? What's wrong? What's going on here, Monkey Tron? You got me looking at a damn 1 minute chart. Okay, so looks like I'm pretty good. Because, see, I don't line stuff up on a 1 minute chart, so it's going to be really hard to be, very definitively accurate on a 1 minute chart. Do you want us all to get schizophrenia? Hard to call it at the time. Yes and no. I mean, if you look at the 1 minute, chart, if you do want to go all the way down to this time frame, So you do have a bottoming candle. If you're on the 1 minute, I mean, I don't know if I'd be on. I rarely, if I go to the 1 minute, we are capitulating. Like if I'm just sitting here watching a 1 minute chart, either I've been day trading myself to the point of silliness, and I just get out of it, which doesn't happen anymore. But yeah, I mean, even on the 1 minute chart, this doesn't look like super good. Let's go to the 5 minute chart, which should be a little bit. Yeah, so the 5 minute chart. So the 5 minute chart shows no bottoming action around the trend line and a clear break all the way through it. So by the time you're down in this area, I mean, look, there's no higher highs. Just absolutely nothing going on here. 15 minute is pretty clear red. Do have some wicks, but I mean, nothing going to keep you in on this. Not only that, I mean, are you really looking for near protocol to bounce? So look at that. So there's some context. You have high volume coming directly into the trend line. There's definitely pressure here. Does a 5 minute have the same pressure? Yeah, a couple green candles in there, but you can see the increasing volume. So this is the opposite of what Bitcoin did on that first follow through day that worked really well after we failed 30K. This is the exact opposite of what happened. So Bitcoin, I'll show that in a second. Look at this. So you have really low volume as we're just winding down. This is fine. Like all this is not a problem. Not really, you know. Then you have increasing volume on the way down. That's increased selling pressure, failure to go higher here. And then you're rolling into the trend line on more increasing selling pressure. And then it exacerbates itself in a bigger move. So, and then if you go to Bitcoin, I'll just show you guys. Most of you guys aren't subscribers, so you weren't around for it in real time or all the times you pointed it out afterwards, which is a lot. Let's see if it'll take me there on the 5 minute. No, it won't. Probably shouldn't, but I can go there on the 2 hour. It's the same thing. I just don't know how to use the I don't know how to use the chart shortcuts. So here's Bitcoin 30K. There's capitulation. If you know the trigger, hit the like button. There's capitulation. Okay, undercut and rally. Here's the same thing. Looks a lot like what we just looked at with near protocol. Lower volume here though, right? And then we start to cascade lower. Little bit of higher volume, but nothing really breaking. Then we reverse immediately. So you get a little bit of burst of selling here, but it's not. Look at these candles. I mean, it's not. There's a candle here and 2 candles here. You do get a little bit, but that's actually what sells us off. But you're not. It's not sustained. It's not sustained like we just saw. So it's kind of the opposite. And then it flips on its head. You get a follow through day right there. But obviously those were 1 minute charts, so slightly different situation. But the point remains. All right. Let's move on to Adam. Judge a problematic trend line break. High volume is a big warning. Sustained high volume break. So, well, first of all, anytime you're dealing with any type of entry or exit position, anytime you're dealing, and this goes for longs too, it really doesn't matter. At some point, you have to make a judgment call. There's no 100% like surefire thing. High volume is a great indicator, right? It's absolutely fantastic, but you don't always get it. And we actually discussed this, was it last week? We did have some low volume breaks. What am I thinking of? I think it was Shiba. Shiba is a good example of a low volume break. So this went sideways and then just started meandering lower, right? Pretty much at this time the whole market did this. The whole market had a low volume trend line break that kept continuing. But I mean, you had the history of all of this garbage action, lack of price increasing. And so, again, it's just A sustained high volume is way better and much easier to manage, at least for me, than this type of a situation. But after we've chopped around for so long and with the inabilities to go higher, these drops, just became fairly obvious because everything was doing it. Near protocol, like we just looked at, that was kind of a unique higher volume drop situation. A lot of charts didn't necessarily have this signature, which is why I stopped and talked about it, because this is kind of unique. So you go into a high, you roll over, boom, you break the trend line. BTC, I mean, I guess you could argue one of these trend line breaks did, but this was a bullish scenario going in. This wasn't what Near was doing, which, I mean, I guess it was kind of bullish, but I wasn't really viewing it. Obviously, Bitcoin can turn around at any time. Near protocol is just a slave to the market, so slightly different situation. What up, Casey? If this was a dead cat bounce, if we never really get a bounce, asking for a friend. Oh, are you talking about this immediate price action, Casey? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be a good sign. Yeah, it really wouldn't be a good sign. Well, it's really interesting. It's really interesting because yesterday and the day before we were looking at some information here. Aram pointed us to this look into Bitcoin thing, and we were looking into this just real quick. The blue is the price of Bitcoin. The yellow is the Bitcoin wallet sizes with more than one BTC. So there's more hodlers, people actually holding and buying Bitcoin in this area. I'm not sure when this is updated. Maybe it's updated at the end of every day, probably, but we'll see what happens today. It's been in a pretty clear uptrend. And we dove into this a little bit deeper. I'm not going to spend too much time on it because we're already 57 minutes in. But, I mean, if you look at this chart, what's unique about this, and I think it's a cool tool, I don't think it's the end all because we negated it another point as well. Not negated it, but we showed that it's not a one-to-one, in other words. But anyway, so here's the first drop. There's the capitulation right there. It doesn't show because it's a wick. But look at the address here. So the addresses, so they're selling in mass here. They're taking profits because Bitcoin just came up from like 12K, up to 60K. They took profits, blah, blah, blah. And then they start buying back in. Well, we failed to go lower here, but the addresses had already diverged from the price action. Addresses in a clear uptrend. You see a trend line across here. We cross it. There's not a capitulation, but a failure to go lower here. They buy a bunch of it. And then we just continue with this uptrend. So we've been unable to move dramatically lower. And if you look at this sequence where we've been in this bear flag on Bitcoin, it's been the same situation. We've been rallying up. So we don't use this this isn't anything that is 100%, but it's just unique, I think, to notice that, hey, we've been unable to drop, especially recently. And we've been unable to drop recently, but because they're buying it, so they're buying it. So it's just a way to look at the market. It's not the end all. It's not going to say we're not going to drop. It's just another piece of information to add to the mix. Because in this area, I mean, what we had, and we talked about it in the moment, which is why we were prepared for yesterday's action, a little less prepared for today's, to be honest with you, is that we had here high volume without progress lower. And we had a declining wedge, both reversal signals. And so we did reverse, but now we have another reversal. So it's like I said earlier, if you don't know what to do here, just avoid it because it is just extreme chop. Well, we're there, Casey. So if you want to, feel free, bud. Yeah, go for it. What you been up to anyways, man? How you doing? Bitcoin to 24K. Um, if we stay in a bear market, okay. So I'll give you my synopsis. Uh, I'll give you my Bitcoin synopsis. Working for the man in hodling. Nice. So here's my synopsis on Bitcoin. You ready? It's gonna be pretty easy. At least I hope. This is my synopsis for Bitcoin. That's it right there. I don't have to say anything. At least I hope I don't. But this is what I think we do. Based on the price action on the chart right now. If we fail sideways, yes. If we fail this line here, all bets are off and we could be down to 12. That is what I think is going on. I think we'll find major support around the 30,000 level. If somehow that gets broken, we could go all the way to 12, which would be another 80% retracement. So I'm hoping we stay sideways. I was actually kind of anyway. I'm hoping we stay sideways. Not for any particular reason, just because I think the chart makes sense that way. If the chart comes down, it makes a lot less sense, and the paradigm has to change. We already know that Bitcoin is different from its previous cycles. Okay, for those of you that haven't been actually paying attention to the charts, let's go to the index chart. Shoot, there it is. I kind of like this index chart. It's pretty good. I'm not sure if volume is really that great on it. Like, honest, I don't know if volume is truly honest. I hope it is. Because look, you get a full Bitcoin chart. It's pretty cool. Like, I actually like this chart. Wow, look at that volume. That's a lot of volume. Wow. Darn it, kind of lost my train of thought a little bit. Look at that range. Where would that put us? 23? Oh, that also put us close to the prior high at 20,000. By July 4th? That's a possibility. 4-year cycle? Yes, to a point it will. I haven't seen the chart so close in 5 years as I just saw 30 in the last 30 minutes. Well, when Monkeytron asked for 1 minute charts, I mean, we know we're going to dig deep right there. Yeah. So, a couple of notes you got me thinking of. Actually, I was just going to talk MRA. I was just going to talk about that. The graph on this cycle is a mess. I was just going to talk about that. Yeah, change market cycle. So, parabola. We missed our parabola. You know what changed it? Monkeytron. Come on. What changed our this last market cycle? And I don't know if it changed it forever or not, but what changed it? You got somebody knows the answer. Somebody knows the answer. No. Not institutions. Not Elon. Loopy is right. It's a trap. Institutional investors, Fed, and stock markets. No. Brian Miller's onto it. Hey, what's up, Dave? New kid? Are you 12 years old? I think Dave's 12. Is it your birthday? Is it your birthday, Dave? Don't ask why I said that. My kid just had a birthday like a month ago. Chart looks to me like we're at the bottom now. The COVID drop. The COVID drop changed it. In my opinion. This never should have happened. Oh, I'm on the weekly for some reason. This COVID drop never should have happened. It wasn't in the charts. It wasn't in the cards. This never should have happened. So you can basically eliminate probably all of this price action. You don't agree with me, Monkeytron? Well, it's okay. You can be wrong. It's okay. No, seriously though, I do think COVID. Well, it didn't break the chart. I don't think it broke the chart, but yeah, but it changed. But all this, yes and no. So hear me out. Just hear me out here a little bit. Just hear me out. If you look at that Bitcoin logarithmic growth curve, which we had up here for a little bit, I think it's one of the most unique indicators, financial indicators, almost ever. Almost ever. And if you go all the way back, if you think about what Bitcoin is, this actually makes quite a bit of sense. Because Bitcoin follows an inverse logarithmic growth curve distribution. So, by definition, it should follow a logarithmic growth curve pattern. It kind of makes sense. And it did a pretty good job, except for, I guess, that drop right there. I'm not sure where that drop happened, but this was a pretty extreme drop. And I mentioned all that price action. That whole thing I just circled, looks like a plus a little bit more, is exactly what is under the logarithmic growth curve. I think I circled from this drop right here. So I probably have to include this too. But by my estimation, this never should have happened. So I think, and I don't know if anyone's good enough to do this, if you were to adjust this logarithmic growth curve down to account for probably not the low, but maybe right here at about 5,000, you may get, this may drop right on top of price. It's possible. I don't know for sure. Just a hunch I've got though. Let's see if this does it. Ha ha ha! Bam! Bam! So, yeah, I think we got our bull run. I think we got our bull run, but it was different. Another thing about, cycles changing is that we had our first normal bear market in Bitcoin right here. And I think that this kind of goes into a little bit of maybe this goes to institutional support. I believe in really big themes, and everything in between is just price action for the most part. So this price action being different than any other cycle in Bitcoin history, maybe except for this one, is, well, maybe I had a little bit here. I'm not sure if that's probably 50% too. Oh yeah, there's a little bear market. I never noticed that before. Here's a little bear market. How cute. There's a cute little bear market. But we never had like a normal bear market before. Yeah, see, this would have qualified. There we go. So I guess we've had one. We had one more normal bear market, but this is a much more normal. This is a very everyday stock market, traditional markets, normal bear market right here. Ever since then, our price action's been a little bit different, but COVID screwed it up. We probably should have gone right here and probably would have topped a little bit earlier. Maybe we would have done our December 17th again. Because I wonder if you take, actually, you know what? I wonder if you take this out. That's like, what, 55 days? It's not going to quite do it. That'd be funny, though. Doesn't quite fit. I'm sure I could probably force fit one of these tops into December 12th. Yeah, there you go. December 24th would be 57 days. So I probably would have topped around the same time if you didn't get COVID drop. So, anyway. But this bear market cycle, and this also could be institutions. Look at this bear market cycle compared to everything else. It's completely different. It's absolutely different. Diminishing returns, but will the next bull run make up for this one? Like I said, I think if you were to take this logarithmic growth curve and maybe just do this with it in some fashion, I don't know. I'm not sure on that one. When things are already on the chart, they're obviously a little bit easier. So, when I can do stuff like this, it just kind of makes it easy, obviously. So, yeah, I don't know if it'll go all the way up to the top of this again. I don't know. This drop was so dramatic and out of the curve. It dropped the whole curve by, 50%. It dropped it by a lot. So it took out quite a bit of, because up here it should have been a 10. So this wasn't quite a drop of 50%, 37%. But so yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I know we'll get a run up. You're right about diminishing returns, for sure. But you're right about diminishing returns. I don't know if we'll get all the way to the top of the growth curve again. That'd be pretty interesting. And maybe, I mean, if we're going to hold tight here at 29, it's not really 30K, it's 29K. If we're going to hold here at 29K and we don't get this big decline, so these are, 85% declines. This one wasn't 85%. If we don't get 85% decline, maybe we'll get another like a, 400 or 500% rally. Possibly. If we don't fully undercut. That's the thing. If we don't fully undercut. Some hopium? Well, right now your hopium takes you up to 173,000. Over here at our first top, we were at 107,000. Yeah, basically. 175K currently. So, that'll do you good, Monkeytron. You came here for some hopium, Shash? Hopium's always nice. But yeah, I mean, so my bigger picture, I wasn't supposed to stay in it this long, is I really do think and hope that 30K holds. If 30K doesn't hold, then I think 12K is in play. But, we rarely have gone under a prior high. So maybe I think Casey's the one that said 24. Maybe 2024 could be it. There's some measured moves down to 18. There's all kinds of stuff we can talk about. We've talked about all. Yeah, we do a lot of this big term stuff in the Power Hour. Not every day, but often enough. Yeah, and again, everything's time stamped. So if you guys do see something, then yeah, there'll usually be a timestamp for it. Having hopium, well, the halving's still going to be a thing, and the reason it is a thing, actually, I'll timestamp having hopium. That's a good one, and then I'll move on. Well, the reason having is a thing is it has to do with and I don't fully understand the actual mechanism behind it. I'm not really sure why it works this way, but in order for the miners to remain profitable, to run the network, they have to double their revenue because their revenue gets cut in half during a halving. So, by definition, it's going to go up during the next halving. It's interesting. It's really, and I don't know why, because if you think about it this way, in a truly free market, which arguably Bitcoin's a pretty darn free market, in a true free market, why would the price double when costs double? It's really it's a little strange, especially in an asset is in this type of a stock trading environment type of a market, an auction based market. It's so weird. Like auctions could care less if Da Vinci's paints doubled in price. They're still gonna pay $400 million for a fake painting of Jesus. But it's why would Bitcoin do that? I don't have the answer to that, but it seems to work out. Miners are still in business. So I definitely would think that the halving cycle will still be in play. And you said what? Yeah, March 2024. So that would put us way out here. If this is a thing, if this range is a thing, we're probably going to get a bull run before then. So maybe they'll run prior. I mean, institutions have a weird way of fucking with people. I'll say that right now. Institutions are absolutely bonkers when it comes to screwing people. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see about that. But I mean, if this pattern holds up like other ones I've seen, we should move up before then, and then maybe we get another bear market, and then we get, because that's a long March 2024. That's 2 years from now. We could do a lot in 2 years. We could have another baby bull run. In which case, maybe we do touch the top of the log growth curve. So that would put us, up at whatever, and then maybe we come back down to whatever, and then maybe we go back up for a full another bull cycle. I don't know. Possible. There's enough time, but these big sideways markets like this, they don't last forever. They don't. I mean, pretty much any market you can go to the Nasdaq, which is, I mean, the Nasdaq doesn't like going sideways. And this thing's only open 6.5 hours a day. So, I mean, the last big sideways market you had was 2015-16 right here. That was for 400 days. Not the same type of a horizontal rectangular structure, but is sideways. The top was sideways. Here's another one for 330 days. But Bitcoin can't really stay sideways for that long. So we had the 2015 bottom, which was a year. Yeah, that was 1 year. 1 year of sideways action. So I don't know if we could stay here for another 2 years. Another 2 years. We've already been here for basically a year and a half. Yeah, we've already been here for a year and a half, so it's going to give at some point. Okay? And that's why you sign up for the Power Hour. Oh, look at that. I'm almost a salesman. Actually really bad at this stuff. I'm trying to force it in, so bear with me. But no, seriously though, we do try to keep on track. We got this one too perfect. Just too perfect that I don't think anybody took it. Really, that one worked out really well. Yesterday didn't work out so well, but they're not all going to. And it is what it is. But all you can do is honest work. And see, that's the thing. That's the thing with a lot of things that you guys are going to see out there. A lot of people hype. That's why my channel's Real Crypto, because I don't hype anything. Like, seriously. I don't hype anything. Like, I'm telling you, I don't know if we're going to break 30K or not. I really hope we do. If we did, it would be great because things are more clear. If we break 30K, ooh, this is trouble. It's big trouble. Big trouble bear market time. And then up here, this is like your first kind of... So here's the bear flag. This is your first, breaking down signature. I hype the realness, yeah. So this is like the first signature of breakdown right here. But hopefully the breakdown's to this level or 30K. And we don't go past that. Because your measured move here is 18K. From this big bear flag. Is what it is. So, all right. Good stuff. Good talks. I like the big talks are good. Especially, yeah, it's good. All right. We're still doing top 20 because you guys won't shut up, keeping me talking and stuff. If you haven't noticed, I'm really sarcastic. So if you don't like that, you probably already left. I just told everyone to shut up. That was amazing. MRA, what you got? When Bitcoins are all out, do we still need miners? Then who's going to verify transactions? Well, according to the white paper, no, I'm not doing a 4-hour power hour again. It's supposed to be by transaction fees. It's supposed to be transaction fees. It's not going to be fully mined until, what is it? It's like 21 year 2100 or something like that. Wow, I forgot. It was like 100 years. It's 2140. There you go. There you go, Shash. I forgot that. I used to know that. Yeah, 2140. So we'll be long dead. So you don't have to worry about that. Your great grandkids would be like, my granddad gave me a Bitcoin, or my great granddaddy gave me a Bitcoin, and the network's gonna go out. So little Timmy or Susie is gonna be having to worry about that problem, just like the environment. So just go litter today. I was supposed to talk about Adam, but that didn't happen. All right, Adam, garbage. So, yeah. Trend lines. Oh, my trend lines went away. What? You son. I didn't. Ugh. Okay, so sometimes my trend lines randomly disappear. And I don't. They're not up here. When did that happen? Weren't we just looking at trend lines? There's trend lines. Does this ever happen to anybody else? I got one down here. See, we used to have trend lines on these. Well, at least we're at Atom, and none of the Atom doesn't really matter. So, it does. Okay, at least it's not just me. It happened one day when I reset my computer, so I thought it was something to do with like memory allocation or something. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense. All right, Atom broke its trend line. I did the Windows update. Oh, I know what you mean, though. Well, I didn't do the Windows 11 update. Maybe they'll let me have trend lines if I update to Windows 11. That would work. All right, Atom, full retracement of the move. Rinse and repeat action. There's really nothing to talk about with Atom. That's not one of the better performing assets at all. Next up is Litecoin with, again, a full retracement. We used to have trend lines here. There's some support here at about the 96.6. There's a trend line here that we did try to take out after the show yesterday. Once again, a full retracement. Really hard to make big moves right now. Very difficult to make big moves. There's wise times to make big moves, and this isn't it. Chainlink, right back down on support. You can see a horizontal where my cursor is, and a low, pretty definitive lower high right there. Again, yesterday, good volume day, but market ripping wind out of sales. Aggregation tool shows lots of buying pressure, and then boom, just this one candle erasing everything. So do we stop here and reverse back up? I'm not counting it out. Not with what we've seen in the past. I'm just going to say a month, even though it's not quite a month. Next up is Tron. Remember, Tron was trying to fake us bullish. Stupid ass Tron. Look at Tron. Look what Tron did. Wow. And then, actually, we're not fully broken on trend here with Tron. Oh, no, I guess we are. That's not a good signature. So we did kind of break that. There's your high volume candle. Tron got really choppy, but the past couple of days has been really bullish. Look at the volume. Our volume aggregation tool. This is a tool we use during the power hour, and this tool aggregates buying and selling pressure independently. And you can see buying and selling both going up, but the volume pretty elevated. And that's the biggest volume we've seen since this topping area here. So, you know, again, looking a little bit like accumulation, but just not enough. BTT pumps with Tron? I don't know. Back when BTT was actually worth looking at, it kind of was correlated, but not really. That doesn't do a good job. Oh, is that KuCoin already? We haven't really looked at BTT in quite a long time. Oh, geez, that must have been a reverse split or something. But BTT had a good pump here. I think it was leading or lagging. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't. That's a tough one. Either way, really loopy. It's just not worth it. Tron's not a good quality coin. BTT's not a good quality coin. So in reality, what you're doing there is just guessing. All right, last of the top 20, and we're just going to stop at the top 20, is Ape Protocol. So Ape gave us an exit signal, which we talked about, not in real time because we didn't have the show here, but we talked about it the following day, and then gave us another topping signal, and has been down ever since. Big stalling candle there, big selling candle. So ApeCoin, look at the distribution here. Pretty clear with the volume aggregation tool. And ApeCoin likely will go down and meet the fate of ICP. So we're at what, 1375? So what are we? I'm going to guess in 6 months. Someone write this down and hold me accountable because it'll be interesting. I could probably put it on a sticky or something. I'll never look back at it. But anyway, $2 ApeCoin. Maybe not $2 ape coin. Let's go. Yeah, probably about $2 ape coin. I'm gonna go $2 ape coin in 6 months. Yeah, you probably will, Muggentron. $2 ape coin. We're gonna go $2 ape coin in 6 months because the question is why. Probably the fourth leg of our fourth-legged table of coins that shouldn't be in the top 20. Although it's top 25, I do cut a little bit into the top 20 due to the fact that a lot of them are stable coins. What's up with oh, it's his birthday today. CoinMarketCap birthday. Well, congratulations, CoinMarketCap. Now why can't I get to your homepage? Because I don't care about your birthday. It is interesting though. Ape is oh, it's already 31. Oh, it's already way down there. Okay. Never mind. There we go. ApeCoin. It shouldn't even be on my thing anymore. What's in the top 20? I gotta redo my top 20. Doge, AVAX, Sheeb, Wrap Bitcoin doesn't count. Matic, Tron, Near, Crow, Litecoin, Leo. Isn't this Bitfinex's stablecoin? And then Bitcoin Cash. Oh, so I can get rid of Atom. Ooh, FTT's up here. I can get rid of Atom. And I can't get rid of ApeCoin. Okay. I'm going to get rid of ApeCoin. I'll redo my top 20. Yeah. Top 20 changes. I don't look at it every day. Okay, we'll get rid of Ape. Try to get rid of Tron. I'll figure it out. All right, guys. So that's about it. That's the top 20. And let's look at stocks. We said we'd look at stocks, so let's do that. I do remember that. If I said something else, I think that's all I mentioned we would do. So unless you guys have any questions, we'll look at the stock market, and then we will bounce. We'll do a wrap-up. So I always do a wrap-up at the end of the show to try to be concise for people that just want to look at the wrap-up. You out of here, Shash? Take it easy. Good seeing you, bud. Join the Power Hour because you talk. That's great. We like talkers. GMT getting wrecked today. Is that a stock or? Oh, okay, fantastic. Okay, let's look at the indexes real quick. See what's what. I'll go daily here. We don't need to see. We don't need to see 2 hours on the stock market right now. So we are definitely this choppy lower action here looks like a bear flag. Not good. Bigger picture for sure. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not good. Talking to Brian there. ES, also a firm retracement of yesterday. So yesterday, the Federal Reserve came out and said stuff, and then the market rallied. Fake rally. And today's a fake sell-off. It's all fake. So just patience here. Just be very patient with the stock market, just like with the crypto market. Wait for better signals. If you guys are losing money, that's the best thing to do is wait for better signals. And if you can't wait, join the show and I will yell at you every day. Well, actually, I'm off tomorrow and Saturday, so I guess not every day. I do take days off from time to time. I am a human being with a family. So, yeah, tomorrow I'm doing a school thing with my kid. They're going to do like a little mini field trip, so it's going to be fun. Fun to watch your kids grow up. It's the best. Dow Jones, choppy garbage down. Transports, if you're not familiar with the transports in relation to the stock market, the transports usually lead the stock market. So this is kind of a rising wedge situation. Hey, what up, Blah? Is that your first time chiming in, Blah? You've been lurking this whole time? You're not even going to say hi. Got a lot of people that just leave and don't come back and say hi. Yeah, real stocks. I don't know. I may do it again at some point. It never really took off. It was like one person there, two people there. Stock markets and crypto, there's not the same. They're not the same people. It's kind of tough. Oh, okay, that's cool. Well, hey, thanks for joining, bud. BTC to 30K just depends on NASDAQ. Well, yeah, again, like we said earlier, Loopy, they're correlated because they're all part of the same institutions are involved in crypto, and so they are. What up, Snake? Yeah, so They're a little more correlated than they used to be. When you will see a decoupling, because it's a risk off environment, is what's happening right now. That's the best way to put it. It's risk off. So when it's risk off, Bitcoin is the highest risk. It will correlate when they're taking risk off. Once we diverge, that will be a good signal that we don't know if we're going to go to choppy or we're going to go into an uptrend. But if the Federal Reserve's not going to be pumping money, then we'll probably be choppy. So it'll be hard to get back in this next cycle. I'm just going to say, barring any really amazing price action, it'll be hard to get your signatures because the Federal Reserve works slowly, and they do it on purpose, and they do it methodically. And as a crypto investor, that's not what you want, but it's the world we're in. All right, I saw Apple's up 4% yesterday, down 5% today. Geesh. Yeah, it's up 4.7%, trying to break a trend line. Take out a little thing here. A little wide and loose on this. Don't really like it. Microsoft down. These are your big stocks. These are very important to the market. Head and shoulders here on Microsoft. Volume is wrong, though. The volume on Microsoft's incorrect. Tesla with maybe I don't think it's big enough to be a double bottom base. And it doesn't look like it. I don't think Tesla's a double bottom base here, but took out this trend line here, and it's just floating. I said earlier in the year, I've said it a couple of times since then. Recently though, I was hoping we were going to break out, but that trade's not working, so that trade's dead. So I may go back to my old thesis that Tesla may look like this again for the foreseeable future. Do with that what you will. But Tesla's this is where most of the growth is coming over the next 8-10 years. So you're going to have to deal with that. Yeah. It'll be interesting. It's choppy to up. It's not choppy to down. It's choppy to up for sure. Amazon continues. Oh, this is bad. Killed our trend line and just died. Look. Oh, that is. I don't like that at all. It's not good for Amazon. Yeah, I got my shares still. Yeah. Killed my options trade because it got negated, and then I still have my shares. So market is not looking very good. AMD was up big yesterday. Wow, look at that. Oh, that was after earnings too. I didn't realize that. Big earnings beat for AMD, so that's pretty good. Someone bought a bunch of shares right there. AMD's look at how deep AMD's come down. Come down tremendously, undercutting a trend line here without a lot of volume. That's actually a good signature. You know what? This is going to be a long-term turnaround play. Oh, yeah. This will be a good one. How about NVIDIA? I don't know. NVIDIA's different because it was going to merge with Taiwan Semiconductor, and now it's not. So we'll see. But this could be good for AMD could be good for a long-term turnaround play. I believe they're just doing their thing. And the way it's looking, yeah, could be good for a long-term turnaround play at some point. It's not quite ready yet, but we could try to get there. You could try to get there. AMD's got room to run. It's still, I believe its market cap is still pretty low, especially compared to NVIDIA. 168 billion market cap, plenty of room to go. This thing goes high as it wants to. Yeah, I think AMD's a good one. I mean, look at its growth. It's like next 5 years, 30% growth. Past 5 years, 44. So growth's slowing a little bit, but it's still good. It's still knocking at 30%. Return on investments, 40%. Margins, 48%. Jeez. Just a cash cow. What's that like compared to NVIDIA? Gross margin here is 65%. Jeez. They're charging a lot for their graphics cards. That's for damn sure. Next 5 years, 30%. So yeah, still kind of holding us on. So AMD, yeah, may. But look at the market cap, 500 billion market cap versus AMD's market cap of 168. So this is almost a small cap comparatively. I think this could have a lot more growth ahead of it. That would be really good. Transports, you know, I haven't really been keeping up, to be quite honest with you, with the stock market in the past because we've just been choppy garbage. I've just been looking at Tesla. Um, I mean, I just thinking of some airlines off the top of my head. There's American Airlines, Southwest Airlines. That's not Southwest Airlines. Oh, LUV, not LOVE. There we go. I don't know. Cruise ships. I don't know. Carnival hasn't really recovered from COVID. And I don't play. Oh, by the way, cruises are really cheap. If you guys want to go on a vacation, my wife was looking at them, and I haven't looked at them yet, but apparently cruises are super cheap. So that would be a cruise could be kind of fun. And who cares about COVID anymore? So just go for it. Now you're just taking super cheap cruises with no COVID. You're probably not going to get stuck in a dock for 3 months. That's a good thing. So yeah, so I'm not sure. There's yeah, I don't know, Monkeytron. I'm not sure, bud. All right, let's wrap it up. But stocks are not in a good spot. Reset my chart, and we'll do a wrap up. I'll talk about Casey's thing here for a sec too. All right, so wrapping up the day today. Hey, thank you for joining me today, ladies and gentlemen. Today is a public version of the Power Hour, which we do 6 days a week at the current moment in time, but usually 7 when my kids don't have soccer. You can go to real-crypto.com and click on services and sign up for the Power Hour here. And we do the show every day, and this is pretty much what we do. Go through the top 20 cryptocurrencies. Also look at USD pairs outside of the top 20 and BTC pairs to see if there's anything of value in the market. What we saw overnight was a pretty big drop just recently in the previous 2-hour bar, and that negated quite a bit of price action. The market was working to turn up, but that is definitely going to put a hamper on things. The whole market flipped bearish. There are some people still deleveraging. It could be institutions, could be whales, whatever you want to call them, but they are deleveraging. This is a time to be patient. If you want to short, there are still some headwinds of accumulation to this market, even as people are distributing. So you are in the middle of a whale fight. Do you want to be in the middle of a whale fight? Probably not. Usually the best thing to do in these situations is to really do nothing. But the bias is to the downside. If you're looking to short, you can look for consolidations. I don't want to be shorting right now this second, but if you do get a small bear flag here or something, you could try to short on a breakdown of that, or some type of a low volume rally. You could short on those signals, but right now it's a little bit difficult. If you get an immediate drop to this market, you're going to be living on lower time frames, and that is not a good looking chart on the 15-minute time frame. This is a very clear bearish signature. If you did want to short this, your stop would be at the top of this at about 1.5% if you wanted to short that. But if that gets hit, you kind of have to take your time. Yeah, Brian, trend is your friend. Yeah, shorting rallies. I was talking about that earlier. If you wanted to trade this environment, what you're really good at shorter term trading, and you're shorting rallies is what you're doing. But even on the downside, you have to cover quickly too. So you got to sell when you're higher and buy when you're lower, and you could try to flip that to trade both directions. But this could be a continuation to the downside. With six hours left to go, this will be the biggest volume candle we've had this entire sequence. That could change the direction of the market, and pretty much any altcoins as well. All the altcoins are going to go down. But one leading strategy, if you don't know what to do, is if you want to short something versus Bitcoin, because those are probably going to be some pretty high probability trades in the end, because altcoins usually outperform Bitcoin to the downside. You can clearly see it on my chart here today. So, all right, guys. Hey, thanks for joining me. Appreciate it. Great conversation. That was amazing. If you guys do want to join the Power Hour, we do have some fun, and make some money too. So everyone have a great day. Stay real safe out there, and I'll see you next time.